My name is John Ward. I've lived in Mount Prospect since 2006, but I've lived in the area, grew up in Des Plaines, so I've lived in the area most of my life.
For years, John's property has been the neighborhood venue for many special occasions.
We've had countless parties, and I'm right in the center of the block, and the neighbor and I have an adjoining driveway, so it's kind of extra wide. We used to have Halloween parties. My kids are grown now, so this kind of stopped. But we used to have Halloween parties every year, and it's kind of funny because I'd go to Aldi's, the cheapest place to buy pumpkins, and I'd hand 40 or 50 children knives to go carve a pumpkin, and all the neighbors from the block would come down and watch to make sure they didn't injure themselves. We have a block party. I'm right in the center of the block, so usually the bounce house and slides and stuff, the front of my yard looks like an amusement park, and people pitch in to get all this stuff. It's not just me purchasing.
When asked what makes a good neighbor, John's mind went to his late neighbor Larry, who is always there for others.
Larry, who passed away, and we miss him dearly. If something went wrong in the neighborhood, Larry was always, the first guy to knock on the door and say, "Is everything okay?" or if there's something like that. So, we have kind of a low spot in Mount Prospect, and I think probably we've all had flooding, and I've put in a number of sump pumps because it's really not that hard to put a sump pump in. So that's certainly something that I've done in lots of the houses or gone down there.
Even when John was at his lowest, he has had a caring community of support looking out for him.
Probably one of the worst days and best days of my life was the morning of my mom's funeral. And my sister walked down, knocked on my door and said, at like 6:30 in the morning, and said, "Is your basement flooded?" And I don't know, I was sleeping, of course. And so we walked downstairs, and the basement had about an inch of water in it from the floods. Like, wow, could anything be worse this day? And I have a recording studio in the basement and a bunch of furniture and computers, and I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do. And she walked out of the house and knocked on a bunch of houses, and within 10 minutes there was 30 neighbors in my basement. Everything was in my garage 20 minutes later. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So the neighbors do things for each other.
Though he is being honored as best neighbor, John believes that his friendliness, like that of his village, is simply a way of life.
So it really is a special neighborhood. And I think it's funny, again, because I moved here knowing that in advance. So it's not, I feel like I'm just kind of following the lead. I know so many people who, have done so much for me. And so helping others is kind of obvious. It's kind of, just following the lead,